everybody. How's it going? Welcome to the Week 5 SFB 15 Weekly Update, where we thought things were okay. Like, I don't remember, I'm watching football, and I don't remember anything terrible happening. And then the next day, yesterday rolls around, and then Omarion Hampton's on IR. I don't even remember him getting hurt. What happened? What? Huh? I thought things were okay. But we persevere. We go on. We keep playing. We are joined by a wooing Chris Joel Smith. Hey, Jerry Bagshaw, how's it going? Adam C, 57 Kyren Williams points while the 49ers still win. Feels good. It does feel good. We'll talk about Kyren Williams in a little bit. Hey, Retro. Hey, Jason. Hey, Jason. Hey, Zach. Good job, Chris. 10-0. I am the opposite of that. I am 0-10. Had I set a good lineup this week, I would have been 1-9, but I did not. I finally benched Calvin Ridley, and he puts up 150 something yards. And then we'll talk about that a little bit later too. Oh, and of course, by the way, I almost got my one win, but got my 9th and 10th loss from Steve F., our good friend who is usually in the chat. So if he's here, he can rub it in a little bit. But let's talk about the top scoring player of the week, which is Rico Dowdle. 57.9 points, 23 rushes and 3 receptions for a total of 14.5 points, 234, it says receiving, I'm supposed to say total yards. He had about 205 rushing yards. So most of that was rushing anyway. 8 total first downs, 1 touchdown, and apparently 1 tackle for 2 points. So had to throw that in there. We have my last one, Mystery Funko Pop. I have absolutely no idea what is in this box. But for the next 3 minutes, it's 103 through 106. Type Funko in the chat, and you will be entered to win whatever this is, whoever this is, because we know what it is. It is a Funko Pop of a human being. We know that for sure. Of a football player. I can get a little bit more specific than that. So type Funko in the chat, and you will be entered onto the wheel. And of course, this is the first time in a while where I had to do this without someone able to talk while I type. So this is going to be a little awkward. How's everybody's day? How's everyone's week doing? Did you do well in your fantasy week? I actually had a pretty good week besides losing both in SFB. Like Adam C pointed out before, Kyren Williams had a whole lot of points, and I got a couple of Kyren Williams shares. Christian McCaffrey, we'll talk about him in a little bit also. Jamar Chase finally came through with a decent game. Yeah, here we go. And this bye weeks is I lost out on 2 of my running backs because of bye weeks, and then Brock Bowers just decided not to play, which wasn't great for me either. Yeah, we'll talk about Chase's tackles in a little bit also, which was insane. Is the DTC podcast ever coming back? Not to the best of my knowledge. I haven't talked to the DTC guys in a while, but I know Dynasty Wall Street's pretty dead in the water. 9-1 in SFB, probably my best week. Yeah, Hampton Hurts. Yeah, that like you hate to see it in general, but a young guy, like rookie who was just starting to really come into his own. Ugh. All right, it is 106, so let's get this on the wheel. Let's get the wheel on the screen, I should say. Share screen. Wheel of names. Let's pull you down and stick you up. All right, let's shuffle and spin Mystery Funko. Is it going to stay? Is it going to go? Is it going to stay? Is it going to go? Is it going to stay? Jason Smith, congratulations. Ooh, that was a nail biter. That really looked like it was moving on to the Stano, but it didn't. Jason Smith, please email team@fantasycares.org, team@fantasycares.org with your address, so we will ship you out this mystery Funko, whoever it is. I'm sure it is exactly the player you want. I'm sure that's exactly who it is. All right, let's keep going. Let's talk about the top performers by position. And we talked about Ja'Marr Chase, 10 targets, 6 receptions for 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think one of his touchdowns was like 64 yards. So, I mean, that accounts for most of those yards. 4 total first downs, 3 tackles. 3 tackles. That's 2 points per tackle. That's 6 points he got, just up for a total of 49 points. Rookie Mason Taylor, finally, well, not finally, he's been having pretty good weeks the past few weeks, but now really showing up. 12 targets, 9 receptions, 67 yards, didn't get a touchdown, but had 5 total first downs, 43.7 fantasy points. Trevor Lawrence. Like you watch him play and it's like, okay, all right, this isn't necessarily what we thought it was, but it was still enough it was a good fantasy week. Especially, oh man, that one rushing touchdown where he kind of fell down 6 times. But passing, 18 for 25 for 221 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 10 rushes for 54 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns for a total of 43.24 fantasy points. It is almost impossible to find a picture of this man with his helmet on. When you Google Trevor Lawrence, every picture is just him with the mane flowing. It's like I was just trying so hard to find a picture of him with his helmet on. And then Kyren Williams, I couldn't help it, where it just looked like his hair, just like he sticked his finger in a socket because his hair was just like whoosh. So I had to use that one anyway. Kyren Williams is the second highest scoring running back, 14 rushes for 65 yards, but here's where he made his money. 10 targets, 8 receptions, 66 yards, 7 total first downs. Both of those touchdowns, I believe, were receiving, so he really made his hay in the receiving game. 57.1 fantasy points. The top 15 scores of the week. We talked about Rico. We talked about Kyren. I said Chris McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor. Well, top 4 are all running backs. Then Ja'Marr Chase. Then we get Bill. So you have a guy named Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, which is a bit of a mouthful. And he says, just call me Bill. And you could just say Bill. But Scott Hanson on Red Zone, every single time says Bill Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. He adds Bill to the front of his name to make it even longer. It hurt my brain every single time, but he kept doing it every single time. Stefon Diggs, number 7 score at 44.6. Emeka Egbuka, man, so good. 44.3. Javonte Williams. There's Mason Taylor, Trevor Lawrence, Kendrick Bourne, 43.2 points. Jake Ferguson quietly having a fantastic season, 42.9. And then we have teammates, AJ Barner and Jackson Smith and Jigba with almost the exact amount of points, 42.3 and 42.2. I copied and pasted. I straight up copied and pasted this from the top 15. So maybe he's number 16. I don't know, but he's didn't score at least 42.2 points. Or if he did, he scored exactly 42.2, and Jackson Smith and Jigba just went before him on the site for some reason. Here we go. Leaderboard for week 5. I actually updated that. It does say week 5 under there. Jason Sargent. Congratulations, man, from the Charlotte Checkers divisions in first place. Second is Heath Boyd. Third place, our plural rural juror, Andrew Sten Cavage from the New England Patriots division. Richard Bomer from Cincinnati Live Draft. Fantasy Football Power Hour, Andy Blakes for Pittsburgh Penguins division. Sergey Biamonti from FC Barcelona. Fantasy Impact Today's Pierre Wilson, FFToday.com's Nick Karen, DynastyDaddy.com's Jeremy Timperio, who is Dynasty Daddy, and then Mark Dodd from McLaren. So congratulations to all of you beautiful people and your top 10 scorers of the week. Well, not of the week, of the season so far, I should say. Undefeated teams, we dropped down to 160 again, losing that little less than 50%. From 265 down to 160. Congratulations, all of you undefeated teams. Maybe if we had that completely defeated teams, I would feel a little bit special up there, whatever number that was. I wonder if there's more completely defeated teams or completely undefeated teams. Wait. Is that real? Please tell me, is this real? The Bengals just traded for Joe Flacco, who was doing... What? Why? It's real. Like, so I know that so much goes into who you trade for and what you do, but why don't you go get Jameis Winston? Come on. Like, that would be, that's crazy. Oh, man. Chris Joel Smith completely defeated as well. So there you go. At least I'm not alone. I don't know who's on the Fantasy Cares account right now, but they just dropped Flacco. Oops. No. Flacco is not Jameis Winston with less turnover. He is not nearly as YOLO as Jameis Winston is. Let's not. Who wants to win a signed jersey? Oh man, we went through this pretty quickly today. I guess that what happens when I go by myself. So type jersey in the chat. And again, I have... Whoop, knocking stuff over. I have a leftover jersey from the end of summer giveaway that was unclaimed. So we're not going to know who this is yet. Either again, this could be the Kenny Hill jersey. We don't know. Let's delete these names and let's start typing. Where's the words jersey? There it is. Of course, like, man, like that has to be good for everybody. Like, Flacco has to be better than Jake Browning was, right? Like, Jake Browning was, I don't know, not doing what he did last time. Last time he at least was, like, he wasn't doing well. He was still throwing interceptions all the time, but he was at least feeding the receivers and scoring decent fantasy points himself. He was not doing that this year. Yeah, sorry. I'm just typing names and not talking whatsoever, so you get to stare at my beautiful face for a couple of seconds. Hey, Plural Roger showed up. We talked about you before. You're number 3 in scoring this season so far. Yeah, the Bengals O-line is really, really bad, but I mean, actually no, because the past 2 lines he's played on have been pretty good. And he's not much of a scrambler again. That's why you maybe want Jameis to I mean, Jameis isn't exactly the most mobile guy in the world, but at least he's a little bit more than Joe Flacco is. Right. Give people a couple more seconds to type jersey to get in on the wheel if you want. Yeah, anyone on the Giants roster, seriously, it seemed like they have like 5 quarterbacks that they would have been more than willing to give up at this point. But they went in division no less. Like that just feels super weird. I mean, this is probably what's going to be. Drew Sample's going to be on the field for the entire game at this point as a sixth lineman. All right, let's get this off. Let's get you on. Man, neither seem great, so. But this would be a fun one. The amount of deep passes that Russ is willing to throw, like that would make a lot more 64-yard touchdowns like Chase just got this week. All right, let's spin the wheel and find out who's going to win the signed jersey. Carla S. Congratulations, Carla. Woo. Carla, email team@fantasycares.org, TEAM@fantasycares.org. Give us your address and we will ship you the mystery jersey. Again, team@fantasycares.org. And that's it for the show today. Thank you, everyone, for taking some time out of your Tuesday afternoon to recap a little bit of SFB, talk a little real football, apparently, which is always fun when stuff happens while we're live. Otherwise, I don't know. Stay awesome, everybody. I'll talk to you later.